Name right now 3 Halsey songs. Oh no.
Missing.
Greg?
Missing.
I thought this was a duet.
Missing.
Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds.
Missing.
Can you hear me?
Missing. Oh, missing.
Bonk.
Welcome to Miss Thing. I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim, and this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the Miss Things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key element of our Miss Thing's storied career and do what we are most skilled at, which is sort of make it all about us.
It is, and it is.
It is what? Finish that sentence, please.
You know what I was struck by as you were saying that is you...
Hopefully not
You
lightning.
kind of did this thing where you looked at both cameras, it felt.
Okay, well, we're
No,
getting
I know.
into this. We're more professional now.
Exactly, and I was loving the kind of like you're working both cameras in a way that I have yet to discover for myself. And so I just was watching that, and then out the words came, "It is." And I don't know what it is, but it's more so maybe, just awe and reverence and respect for my co-host.
Wow. It is something.
It is. You are.
am.
It is. And
I
I often
am.
refer to you as an it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a solid pronoun for me. I think I feel comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell are you, Tim?
I am good. I am currently, for the people who are not watching this on YouTube, wearing a hat.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up.
And that is how I'm doing, which is I cannot wait to get a haircut. And
Yeah.
so I'm famously at that stage where I'm now wearing hats because I don't like the length of my hair.
Sure.
And that's kind of how I'm feeling currently.
Totally. Well, and I think the listeners know this is a dilemma for me. I've been trying not to bring it up on each episode, but I am growing my hair out. And right now it's in a place. I'm hoping that maybe if I continue growing it out, I'm hoping it'll do a Lee Pace type situation.
You could pull that off. Yeah.
Thank you. That's going to take me a while to get there. But right now my hair is in a place of yank. So like whenever I put my hand in it, it sort of gets caught and feels like I'm pulling out everything from the top of my head. And it's
It's
kind
really
of making
jarring.
me insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's making me insane.
Greg, do you have a doll of the day,
Mother of the moment, sister of the second, otherwise known as Dod Mom Sauce, which is our famous segment where we talk about what we're currently obsessed with, whether it's a person, place, or thing. I have 2 right now.
Okay, lay it on me.
The Nelly Furtado Tiny Desk concert.
I'm so glad that you brought this up because I almost didn't want to bring it up because eventually we will do her.
Of course.
But then we need to talk about it.
Incredible. The medleys, she did everything. I don't know what prompted it. I didn't know,
I think she's
culturally.
about to come out with a new album. So she's, coming back into the culture just to say, get ready, bitch.
Okay, and by the way, she is looking younger than she was 20 years ago, whenever she first sort of came on the scene.
I
wasn't
ready,
born
bitch.
yet.
Yeah, I'm so... Okay, sorry. Go into it.
Oh, no, it was an incredible afternoon of song when I watched it. She even did All Good Things Come to an End, which is a song that... Wait, is that I think that's the song.
You were so mesmerized you didn't even...
Why do all good things come... Yes,
Yeah.
all good things, parentheses, come to an end. Haunting, beautiful, incredible song from Loose.
I have to admit very vulnerably here.
You don't know that song.
No, is that I have only watched the Say It Right 4 times in a row, the opening, because I'm obsessed with that song and I forgot about that song. And then I get so excited, I start texting people being like, you have to watch this. And then I never actually finish the video.
Oh,
so you're making me realize I need to go watch the full performance.
You need to go and watch a full performance. She does like medleys of each song. So you think when she's going to do a new song, she's going to do the whole song, but you realize just how many hits she has. And then, of course, I have one other very quick, which is sort of, I don't know her username or anything, but it's the Croissant Girl on TikTok who is...
Hey, I'm kind of paddling, or I'm out to sea without a paddle. I don't know this one.
Is this icon? I think she's Chinese. She's from a Chinese account. Okay. She has braces and she has a filter on that makes her face look like a croissant.
Oh wait, I do know this. You said this to me.
Yeah, we sent it to you.
I didn't realize it was a croissant.
Yeah, she'll be asked to name like regular household items. She'll be like microwave.
Wait,
and
it
she
is
does
mesmerizing.
Oh my God. It's so manic. Vat and I were up in bed just watching it, like laughing and so confused. It's such insight into my mind, the insanity in my mind, and just ostrich.
Wait, you did another one of your psychic moments, which is you saying braces. I just want that to kind of sink into the pod because that is going to come back later.
Yeah.
In this episode.
Lock that in your head.
Yeah, exactly. A little teaser for what's to come.
Well,
but that TikTok that you sent me. Wait, did you say that her name?
I don't know. I don't know her. I can't. I think I'm watching her through another person's account.
Well,
that's
what an
like
incredible
reposting her.
sauce! It's like she goes nameless, but we know who she is.
Croissant girl braces, just naming birds, naming microwaves, naming fruits.
Also, that is such a you. Croissant girl braces is kind of like if someone said like describe Greg in 3 words.
Croissant girl braces.
Yeah, I would say he's kind of like croissant girl and braces.
Yeah. Those are my 3 identifiers in middle school.
Put it in your Twitter bio.
Do you have a Dad Mom sauce?
I do. And it is something that has been haunting me, teaching me. Mm-hmm. I have learned a lot of lessons and I've lost a lot of sleep. Which is, the other day I found myself driving on the highway. Going 60 miles an hour. So not crazy fast, but also not slow.
The highway or the freeway, as they like to call it in Los Angeles?
I guess the freeway. But,
I call it highway, too.
But to me, freeway sounds ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
There's nothing free about it, nothing in my opinion. But it does make me feel high when I'm going that fast.
Sure,
so it's highway to me. So I'm on the highway going 60 miles an hour, and all of a sudden something slowly saunters down the outside of my windshield, which is a mini tarantula. Literally.
A tarantula?
It is not a tarantula, but it looks like listeners, I am not the person who is, I feel like if you were to round up 10 people and say, who is scared of spiders, I would probably be one of the least scared of spiders. Uh-huh. But I don't love them. I don't want them around me all the time. And they do cause me to stiffen up.
Yeah, you don't want to cohabitate
exactly
with spiders, especially in something as vulnerable as your car.
Yeah, and this is weird because it's actually on the outside of my car.
Okay.
And so then I'm kind of wait, how is it still there? I'm going 60 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. So my Dad Mom sauce is actually the legs on this spider. The strength of the legs is something that I aspire to every damn day that I go to the gym. I think now I want the strength of the legs of that mini tarantula, which is, so it's coming down. It's not.
It's not on its string, maybe?
No, it's not. It's literally truly walking down a runway, very slowly.
Okay, Naomi Campbelling.
Yeah, Naomi Campbelling. And I'm you're going to cause me to crash the car. Because that's all I can see. I'm freaking out. And then there's this new part in my life, not to brag, this new stage of my life, which is that I'm trying not to kill spiders, I want to catch and release.
Catch and Release, famous Ronan Farrow. Exactly. What that book is about,
yes,
I believe.
Exactly. And also, I think an AMC show. Maybe that's Halt and Release. I don't know. Lee Pace. Yes. Bring it back.
I don't remember the name of that show.
But you know what I'm talking about.
But I do know, something about computers.
Yeah. Anyways. So I there is a quick moment in time where if I wanted to, I could use the windshield wipers. But I decide, I'm like, bad karma, I'll come back as a spider. And I don't, even though now it is tempting because I do want those legs.
And spiders are intellectual beings and they help kill insects.
And it's been years since I have killed a spider. And so I was like, I'm not starting now, but you're about to you're going to cause me to crash the car and kill me.
Yeah, you're about to take my life on this highway.
Exactly. And so then I'm like, and then it very quickly then starts to go retreat up onto the roof where I can't see it, which is actually scarier because then you can't see it. And I think for a brief second, maybe it flew off. And then a couple seconds later, it starts prancing down the side of my car and is then just trying to get in through where the window meets the door. It's almost as if like if I were to roll down the window for a split second, it could get in. And that is actually scarier to me because it's like actually like knock, knock, let me in. And I'm like, no, you are an outside being.
Sure, it's trying to get in the window, and meanwhile, it's rubber meets the road for you. We need to figure out what to do.
And I'm feeling for everyone around me because I'm sure I am wobbling left and
swerving out of every lane.
Everyone thinks I'm drunk, probably.
Yeah.
And then whatever. I finally. It nestles right there in that crack. I'm, at a 10 as far as my anxiety goes. I finally get to my destination. It's still there. And then I very, very quickly open my door, close it, and it doesn't come in, thankfully.
Okay.
I think maybe it's gone. And now I find I parked my car back in its spot at my apartment, and I woke up. The next day, I went into my car, and literally there's webs now inside the car. Inside the car. And I'm like, is this spider here to teach me? It could be a different one. But I'm like, is this spider here to teach me to like coexist with something that you're afraid of? Is it a constant reminder to get better legs? I don't know what this like teacher is doing to me.
What is this web Miss Charlotte is weaving?
Yeah, kind of very much and also if you are gonna bite me, like let's get it over with and let me become Miss Madam Web.
Right.
One could only hope.
Yeah, there's no other famous spider creatures I can think of that I'd want to be rather than Madam Web, of course.
Exactly. I famously,
sort of blind.
I famously have not seen the movies.
Now streaming on Netflix, I highly recommend it. Miss Thing Movie Night added to the list.
Once the spider does her job and bites me, I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, of course. And as you know, I have spiders living somewhere on my car, weaving such a tangled web on my passenger windows. But this is very, very... keep all of this in your mind, listeners, because we're going to come back to this after our break.
Look at us teasing.
Oh, yeah.
Dita Von Teasers.
Little Dita Von Teasers. Yes. Never forget.
Never forget.
Cut to us in a martini glass when we come back from break.
Cut to us completely forgetting what we're going to say.
Well, we will see you after the break.
My lips are chapped. Okay.
My lips are sealed in this way.
Haley Duff. Okay. Welcome back.
Welcome back. So it's time to get into our Miss Thing of the week.
Our main segment.
Yeah, our main segment where we talk about our main girly, who this week is the legend, the one, the only, Celine Dion.
I mean,
one of the greatest vocalists of all time. I think the greatest athlete of our generation. Because what she does with her voice is nothing less than like Olympic level athleticism.
It is actually like when people say like someone's voice is like honey or butter, silky smooth, like this is what I think of. I think of Celine Dion's voice. There's just nothing that hits the ears better than her voice.
Yes, well, it's smooth, it's gorgeous, but also it's powerful. There is not one Celine Dion song she releases that doesn't stretch her voice to like the end of like what she's capable of, and she continues to just top herself over and over and over.
Also, something that just to quickly run down her credits. It's like The Power of Love.
My Heart Will Go On.
The end all be all.
The ultimate movie soundtrack song of all time.
If there is a song that is in my head constantly for my whole life, it is My Heart. I will. If you hear me humming, I'm humming that song.
Yes. I will say, only other famous soundtrack song, I Will Always Love You.
Yes.
But we have to give that, this is one of the two. Mm-hmm. And Titanic is obviously the biggest movie ever. Power of Love, you said.
Because You Loved Me. Oh. It's all coming back to me. Oh. I mean, it is...
The Beauty and the Beast style video.
I also firmly believe, I've been to a couple weddings, not to brag, and I have, where Because You Loved Me, or The Power of Love, or pretty much so many, name a song that she's done, and they choose that as the last song.
Yes.
As like a way to bring the entire, and I'm not, like, I know that when people think of Celine Dion, they usually think of girls and gays, but I am not kidding. These are all straight weddings that I went to, and the straight boys, even if they're doing it ironically, they still love, they get this little thing to like, they're pretending like it's ironically for them to belt out to, but they fucking love it.
Oh, no.
It brings the house down. It is the best. I'm going to say this. If you are thinking of what should the last song be at a wedding to like bring the house down and everyone love it, it should be a Celine Dion song.
Absolutely. Well, famously, I was at Resham's wedding a few weeks ago in Boston, where we all had to have a karaoke song, and I said any Celine, because I like to go for it. If I'm gonna be put in that position, I want to go for the high notes, and she chose That's the Way It Is, sang That's the Way It Is with famous husband of the pod, Pat. An interesting duet, I will tell you that much, with us both on the mic. And everyone in the room, straight people, everyone in the room going crazy. Knew going crazy, covering their ears, ran away.
Yes. Everyone joined in.
Oh, they all knew all the words. They knew the words better than I did.
And thank God for that. They kind of drowned you out.
Thank God. And you do know that I just have to say, went to one of the Las Vegas shows. Spent the money.
I've never been more jealous of that. I'm so jealous of that.
I just knew it was like it had been years and years and years and years and years. And
I'm about to walk off this pod. I'm so jealous.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would. I am trying to push you out.
What was I thinking? I should have, but they were expensive.
They were really expensive. Yeah. Beyonce up in the rafters was more expensive somehow.
Yes.
But had to get myself out to Vegas and see and hear and experience it for myself. It was one of the greatest nights of my life.
The other thing I think of, and then I'll quickly turn it into make it about myself. I mean, we've been talking far too long about the Miss thing and not about ourselves.
What are we doing here? Get back to us.
Is just that I always also think of her incredible duet with Barbra Streisand. And I always think of in the music video, Barbara is constantly giving Celine notes on how to sing it. And it's just insane because she's singing it beautifully.
Oh, couldn't be more perfect.
And there's just, there's nothing more that a gay could want than watching two diva vocalist powerhouses going and one of them giving the other one notes.
Giving them notes.
It feels very us.
That is... Who's who in that situation?
Oh, I feel like you're Barbara trying to...
This is an age thing, isn't it?
Trying to control me.
Trying to control me.
Yeah. And then I just have such natural talent that and I can't be tamed. I'm like, give me whatever note that you want.
Okay. All right. And I'm also Barbara in the sense that I've got a mall in my basement.
Yeah, you've got a mall of porcelain dolls. For sure.
Oh, wait. Before. Mm-hmm. And then... the trailer for the documentary. In tears.
In tears.
I am Celine Dion. I am not sure I'm going to be able to make it through that documentary because I was crying at the trailer.
When she says that she will crawl to get to us, to her fans, to perform.
I can't.
I mean...
I actually can't talk about it.
I literally almost dropped the phone.
No, actually, we need to make it about you because I actually can't talk about it. I'm fully getting emotional and will not be able to get through this pod.
Okay. Well, how I make Celine Dion all about me
Thank God.
one of the things that I think of first when I think of Celine is her 80s teeth. And I don't know.
80s teeth or
her 80s
80
teeth.
teeth?
80s
teeth.
1980s teeth, which is, if you see a photo
Interesting.
of her from the 80s,
Uh-huh.
she has clearly, those are her natural set of teeth. And somewhere along the line, she has gotten veneers. And she had like 2 teeth that kind of stuck out that she got fixed.
The original Hillary Duff.
I knew you were gonna say that. The original, and I almost did a game today, but then I didn't have enough time of like
Real or veneer.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Wow.
We are such same wavelength.
Real or veneer, future game.
Real or veneer, exactly.
And if
but
you
then
and I
feel
can
like
have
all
an
of them will
original
be
thought.
veneer.
Sure, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Anyways,
I'd
but-
like to see the whittled down teeth. I'd like to see a celebrity with whittled down teeth and no veneers.
So her having veneers makes me think of my own teeth journey throughout the years, which is when I was in middle school, I was told the devastating news that I was going to need to have headgear.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. And there has never been news that I have reacted to more poorly in my life. The worst time in your life. Also, headgear.
Headgear.
Yes.
Is this a nighttime or a
It was a
full
nighttime.
day?
Thankfully, it was a nighttime headgear. I needed to wear it 12 hours a day, and so I chose the time slot of 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Sure.
And, when I say that I changed my entire life around this, I am not exaggerating. From middle school, literally, like, I didn't, for those, 12 months that I had it, it was like, did not see a single friend after 6 p.m. I would not do anything. I would make sure my day was done by 6 p.m.
Yeah, my day's about to be done hearing about this headgear, which is a great first single for you.
Yes,
Just
hearing about this headgear.
Yeah. No, headgear.
Headgear, okay.
Yeah, your debut.
And yes, and it's my personality.
Sure.
I was so upset about this. I thought my life was over. I don't think, it's like the worst news I've ever heard, except for maybe, you're starting a podcast with.
Yeah. And so when you think about it, your life sort of was over when you heard about that.
Exactly. I still have yet to recover.
Sure.
And so I then, like, everyone in my family knew that I was so embarrassed about it. I was going to go to my grave. No one was ever going to find out that I had headgear. There's not a single photo that you can find.
No.
Cut to, it's my sister's birthday, and she decides very selfishly to have
it
a
after 6
birthday
p.m.
sleepover. And I'm like, how dare you have the gall to celebrate you when I am going through the worst thing a person could go through. Headgear.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like livid. I'm not speaking to her because also my sister in middle school, like she was in like the popular clique in middle school. So all of her friends, all the girls were like the popular girls. And I was like, I cannot have the year older popular girls at my house after 6 p.m. when I have headgear on. Like,
Yeah, you will never recover from this.
never in my life. And so
I'm going to need to put you in the attic.
I planned it out, and I was literally like, I am going to make sure I've eaten my dinner, like brushed my teeth, done everything by like 5 p.m., early bird special.
Sure.
And then I'm locking myself in my bedroom starting at 6 p.m. They can come over. I am not coming out of my bedroom.
Sure.
I'm in my bedroom before 6 p.m.
Door locked.
Door locked. Yes,
Like
exactly. Hammered shut.
the wooden panels.
Yeah. And also, like, I don't think about, too, I do remember vividly, like, the party starts, let's say, at 7 or something. They're all in the basement.
Yeah,
And I'm,
yeah.
like, unpaneling the wood, opening the door.
Sure.
Sticking my head out like a little crack to my mom, being like, is the coast clear? Can I pee? Forgot about peeing. So then my mom has to, like, literally
Famous bodily
usher me
function.
to the bathroom, make sure that all the girls are downstairs.
Uh-huh.
Then, I go to sleep. And my sister is watching, they all decide to, like, stay up late, and they're watching a horror movie, the famous horror movie Identity. Do you know this movie?
So strange. Saw it on the famous platform Netflix yesterday and thought...
No, you didn't. Oh.
No, I didn't watch
Oh.
it. Of course not. But I do with Kate Beckinsale.
Is it? I know it's
I think John
Amanda Peet
Cusack.
and John Cusack, and maybe else. Yes.
Maybe it's Amanda Peet.
Yes.
John Cusack.
They
let's
are
say, is
John
in
Cusack
that.
and Kate Beckinsale are in The Great Serendipity together, which is maybe what you're.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where my identity. That's what I was identifying.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So they're watching a scary movie, and listeners, spoiler alert: this movie's from 2003. But if you haven't watched, I'm about to spoil the ending, so you have fair warning. And they're watching it. It's like they don't start watching, let's say, until like midnight. I'm at that point already well asleep.
Sure.
And the premise of that movie is like John Cusack, I believe, or whoever is in it, they have like dissociative identity disorder. And so this is like, I'm spoiling the ending, but basically it's like all 10 people go into this hotel and it's like, and then there were none. They all start getting murdered.
Yes.
You slowly start to find out that it's like all one person and these are all 10 different personalities of this person. But they're still trying to figure out which one is killing everyone in the hotel.
Yeah, which personality is killing the other personalities.
I think that's how it goes. And anyways, it's the climax of the movie. There's like 2 people left.
It seems a little hard to dig into realistically, but anyway.
Yes. And it's the climax of the movie. All the girls are downstairs watching it. They're about to find out who the killer is.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly they start to hear some footsteps down the steps into the basement. And who it was me sleepwalking with my headgear into this darkened basement. And I come out right at the time in front of the TV. I'm obviously sleeping. At the exact same moment as my sister tells it, that they find out that the murderer is a 13-year-old boy named Timmy in the movie. And me being the same age with headgear, all these women are like having to do this. And then this is actually the part where it gets very sweet, which is my sister, I guess, I didn't know this all because I was sleepwalking. My sister like knew it. She also knew at that time that I was a sleepwalker. And so she was like, you guys, like my sister's about to, my brother's coming down.
Something I'm just learning.
Yes, that I'm a sleepwalker. Yes.
Shocked by. Please keep going.
So I'm coming down the stairs. My sister, I guess, very quickly was like, I have a feeling this is my brother because she could tell my footsteps. And she was like, I think he's sleepwalking. Do not wake him up. He was going to be mortified if he finds out that we're seeing him with headgear. And so they all had to like silently muffle their screams as I come down because if they scream, I would wake up.
Sure.
So then I didn't know about this until like years later, which is then she like ushered me up into my bedroom. And then all these popular girls knew that I had headgear, that I was the murderer in the famous John Cusack film.
John Cusack, Kate Beckinsale film Identity. Now it's streaming on Netflix.
Romantic film. And then like years later, I found out that she had like saved me because I would have been fucking mortified that all of these popular girls knew that I had braces.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
And to think, well, there's so many things. To think that you also just maybe didn't think of taking one night off of the headgear.
Oh, yeah.
Which
I'm nothing if not a grade A student. I wanted them off as quickly as possible.
Yeah, one night might have been different. But also famously, I know that if you get woken up, don't you freak out.
Exactly. So I think that was also why she didn't want to wake me up. Gregory Allen Trimmer. Is that your
middle?
David? Gregory David?
Douglas.
Gregory
Douglas. Gregory Allen David Douglas.
Alan Greer.
Alan Greer Trimmer.
That's the person, right? Yeah, David Alan Greer.
Yes.
Sorry.
And 3 of my middle names in order.
Yes.
Greg,
do you have a...
do I have a story where I make Celine's career all about me? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well... This is so amazing because I've been such a huge Celine fan my entire life. Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to like ask my parents to get the CDs and I would listen to them in our like main stereo in the living room. And there's so many things like the Celine interviews. I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about? Mm-hmm. There's the Celine interviews where she goes off script. And, do you believe in love after love after love?
The chest beating.
The chest thump, which is like, that was immediately where my head goes. Mm-hmm. So my husband and I, we went to the gym in the morning. And as we're leaving for the gym in the morning, we hear a cat somewhere, sort of like meowing. And he's like,
Inside the house?
No, it's right outside
Okay.
the house. But anyways, a few years ago, Celine, a few
I'm so
videos
intrigued. Okay.
started to come out of Celine in musicals, or doing songs for musicals. Cabaret. There's also one of her famously doing Memory from Cats. A video that's burned in my brain, despite me never seeing that show, because famously I'm afraid that I'd be allergic to the costumes and I'd have to leave.
Yes, you are very afraid of cats.
Very allergic
Sorry,
of cats.
yeah, allergic, not afraid.
And afraid of cats, the musical, in a way.
Yeah.
So then we get home, we're back, didn't hear the cat. We sit down to a delicious fish board. Keep that in mind. Some sardines, some anchovies, delicious, tinned fish. And I'm looking out the window, and there's a bunch of people right outside my house. Right outside my house. Like, looking in the storm drain.
All the paps, all the people.
Yeah, because Miss Thing recently came out. We can't go anywhere without getting noticed.
So you're just like pretending like they're not there as you have your delicious fish board.
Yeah, I have to ignore sort of the fans that are trying to beat down my door.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to sort of get into whatever is going on there. It seems like someone maybe dropped something in the drain.
Someone's like screaming for help. And like, I've got a fish board in front of me.
Well, I see people like looking down there, and I'm like, uh-oh, someone must have dropped something. So then I'm trying to ignore it. I just turned the TV on. Maybe I want to watch a little something. So then the group moves. They move from the storm drain, and all of a sudden, the entire group, maybe 3 men, like 4 or 5 women, some people are under my car.
And no part of you thinks, I should go out there.
Well, at this point, when people are under my car, I'm going to get up and see, hey, what's going on here? So I came outside. Everyone is like very disturbed. And they seem kind of upset. And they're like, we think there's a cat in your car, or in that car.
Which is your car.
Which is my car, which, by the way, is humiliating because it's been sitting there under what I can only say is like the public bird toilet. It's been shit on so much. And there's a million cobwebs. Back to the spider.
Yes.
Like, it looks like my car has been abandoned. So I'm so humiliated to even admit that's my car. They're like, ugh. They're like, that's
Wait, and
yours?
did you drive that car earlier that day?
No, I hadn't driven it all weekend but we were taking my husband's car. Like, I don't like to be driving if I don't have to.
He likes to be driven. I don't like to. Since the pod came out, you guys, Greg does not drive anywhere. Someone has to drive him.
Yeah, and I do this super cute thing where I call the people that drive me my Ubers.
Yes.
And I say no tip, 0 stars for you as a cute little joke on the way out.
Just to your husband. Yeah.
Yeah, just to my husband. So anyway, so there's a bunch of people, all neighbors who I've not met. I've met 2 of them. But I've not met any of. There are a bunch of like nude people across the street.
Nude?
New people. And they're like, so we think there's a cat in that car. So I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? I'm like, that's weird. Like I immediately start getting defensive because it's almost like seems like they're mad that there's a cat in my car.
Why would you put a cat in your car?
Yeah, why would you put a cat in your car? I'm like, I didn't do that, but okay. Let me get my keys and see what I can do. So like if I can open the hood or whatever. So I go out there, I open the hood, no cat. We're looking in, everyone, underneath. Okay, so maybe the cat's not in my car. And I'm like, did you guys hear it?
Wait, so are you hearing like meow?
Well, I heard it that morning and we looked for it, but I figured it was just a cat doing something. There's a bunch of neighborhood cats, what have you. So then I didn't hear them on the way back in. Apparently people had been hearing them. They thought maybe the cat was in the drain or in they started thinking it was under my car or in my car. And I opened the hood. It's not there. And then I was like, well, have you heard it? Because we were hearing it before. And they were like, well, we haven't heard it ever since you came out. I'm like, okay, I silenced the cat. Yeah. So there's like,
the cat's afraid of you because you put this cat in your car.
Yeah, and like no one sort of introducing themselves to me, which it's like, I'm on Miss Thing podcast.
Yeah.
Like, you might want to get to know me.
Part.
Well, everyone's kind of distressed because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I figured if there was a cat, it would like pop out.
So you go right back in, pretend like
I go back in.
Turn
I'm
up
like,
the TV.
I say, I'm like, good luck. Let me know if you need anything. Like, because it wasn't in the car. It didn't seem to be in the car. And one of them said that they were going to hang out. Maybe 10 minutes later, knock on the door. My neighbor who introduced himself, Chris, famous, shout out to Chris. I really cool guy. Famously my brother's name as well. Shout out to both Chris's.
And one of your old bosses.
And one of my old bosses. Shout out to all three Chris's.
And also the name of my mother. Chris.
Wow.
Short for Kristen, but yes.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, Chris can be anything.
Kris Jenner, as she now loves to say, Chris like Kris Jenner.
Of course.
Anyways, keep going.
So, long story long, he's like, I think the cat is in your car. So we open the car. There is a little kitty inside, just like hanging out at the bottom of my car.
Like a kitten?
Like a kitten. So they couldn't get it from below. There was another person there. I guess they do this and they like catch cats. That's like what they've done.
Who's they?
Chris. And I believe his partner. So the
That's
partner
what their
came.
job is? They go around.
No, I don't think that's their job,
Okay.
but I think they've rescued. He was like, we've rescued a few cats before, so like, this is kind of why I'm like so obsessed with figuring out what's going on. So she puts on a glove, has this bin, reaches in my car, grabs the cat, pulls him out, puts him in the box, goes, "We're gonna name him Mazda."
Which is funny because Greg drives a BMW. Chris, I love you. Just want to say that. Okay, should we
take a break?
Yes. We're back.
We're back, and it's time for
Diva
Down, which is our famous segment where we give some very necessary, unsolicited advice to something in the culture right now that needs our help.
Yes. It may not want our advice, but we're going to give it.
Oh, I think this one does not want our advice.
Okay, so our Diva Down this week is Nicki Minaj. And also the country
of the Netherlands.
Of the Netherlands for arresting
Nicki Minaj.
For
possession of drugs?
For possession of marijuana. Which I have a lot of thoughts about this.
Yeah,
I'm getting right into
about that too. You go in.
Which is, okay, one, the Netherlands, you are known... The thing that you're the most famous for is how lenient you are, and you were the first country, I want to say, who legalized marijuana.
Literally, you are known for that.
This is what you're known for. So are you acting out? It's kind of like this is what you became famous for, and now you're gonna act out and try to penalize people for what you're known for.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on? You need to go see a therapist in the Netherlands because this is what you do.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, no, I know.
And I'm kind of why are you, don't give and then take away from us.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And then to Nicki, now listen, I have no advice for Nicki other than, this is what my advice is to Nicki, which is, you should not be carrying anything. You are queen. You're queen of Gag City. And
you are Pink Friday, 1 and 2.
Exactly. And you do not need to be carrying anything, let alone marijuana. It's have someone else carry that for you. Have them be the one carrying that into a country. It's the only thing that you need to be carrying is Roman inside of that little head of yours.
Right.
For whenever you want to bring out Roman's Revenge or any of the Roman raps.
Well,
but do not, honestly, I think you should be carried everywhere. But you're not carrying anything.
Your bags should be carried everywhere.
Exactly.
And it feels like Roman is about to get their revenge on the country of the Netherlands.
I mean, the rap that she is about to release on the Netherlands is kind of Netherlands, you had it coming.
Yeah. See, this is hard for me. I'm in agreement with you on some things. I think, famously, the Netherlands is a place where drugs exist. I personally...
One of the few places
where drugs
exist is the Netherlands.
Meaning you can also get them there. Nicki has been an international superstar for years. For years.
Over a decade.
Over a decade. Sort of like us. And she, I would think, would have the hookups to even know that you don't need to be taking drugs into the country. I don't know what she had. I know she said pre-rolls. I think there's probably more to the story than meets the eye, but who am I? I'm not a lawyer, nor am I the authorities of the Netherlands. But I would feel like she would have a hookup. So I feel like maybe you need to like talk to someone, figure out who has drugs there and get them from that person. Don't be carrying them in your bags. And again, why are you carrying bags? Let your entourage carry your drugs for you.
And also, like, to your point, just get it in the Netherlands.
Get it in the Netherlands. It's there. It's there.
Of all places to get marijuana.
Or even, don't do drugs on your tour. But I'm not going to tell someone what to do. Anyways, my advice for Nicki is, get out of there. Maybe fly KLM back to the States, which is a beautiful airline that I flew.
Sponsor us, KLM.
I will say about the authorities in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands.
Oh, here we go. Greg and the authorities.
I flew in to Amsterdam from Spain. Amsterdam was where I was connecting to fly back to Los Angeles.
I want the listeners to know Greg is very rich.
Very rich.
All the countries that he's just name dropped: Spain, the Netherlands.
Sort of because he couldn't afford a direct flight back from so he had to stop in the Netherlands and flew KLM back. But anyway, so when we landed in the Netherlands, I didn't even really go into the country, just was connecting. They gave me a stamp. And I thought the authorities were very kind, very welcoming, very accommodating, gorgeous. They were all stunning, well worked out, which not a prerequisite for a job in an airport, but I appreciated that. So to them, I say, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for keeping the peace. Thank you for bringing your light to the airport. Okay. And, don't let the Niminajinators.
I don't know.
What is her? No.
We should both know this. Wow, we're going to get
can't remember
on the...
No, she has such an...
The gag. We have to look it up.
Don't let the barbs get you down.
Barbs!
Don't let the barbs get you down.
Yes.
Keep doing what you're doing, and we salute you.
We salute you. And with that, we will see you next time. Yeah. Do not forget to subscribe.
Yes, wherever you get your podcast, please subscribe.
Click that or follow, because on some places it says follow, but that's the thing that we want you to hit. Hit that button.
Yeah, so you're always up to date on the new episodes. If you like the show, please leave us a good review. Please.
Only 5 stars.
And only 5 stars. And, spread the word, because we're having fun making it. And we just want to, keep adding to the Miss Thingiverse. Exactly.
We love you, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, see you next Tuesday, Jennifer Z's.
Yes.
Bye. Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zientek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zeins.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zientek on all social media.
Bonk.